Hi, Ian Roberts, Mastering Composition and Simplifying the Painting Process. I want to show you this week a series of photographs I took in Provence. And here they are. I'm just going to go through them very quickly. There's a dozen of just this one church, this kind of sculptural church on a hillside with some cypress trees. And I thought you could almost like make a sculpture of this shape and the different things on the hilltop. But I chose this image of them, and you can see that I went through a whole series of possibilities just thinking about the different relationships, but I chose this one and I'm going to do a demo of this one. It's 11:14 and I'm just showing you the kind of some of the mixing and some of the blocking in with this idea of how I am trying to orchestrate all the attention towards one particular place. The structure is good, but I'm trying to pull the attention to one particular place, and I'm showing how I do that in this demo. So I hope you enjoy it. See you at the end. So a couple of people asked me in comments last week, how come I put that fishing shed right in the middle of the painting, compositionally? Well, I was sort of thinking of it like this. There's all these posts down into the water and the more colorful water there with the clear intention of pulling us over to here. So this week I wanted to do it intentionally, to sort of building in the middle, and then what is the thinking around the composition? So we have a strong vertical here, coming down the path here with the intention of bringing us to here. That vertical is going to do a lot of the work. This thing I'm going to put right here so that the light here is against that dark, also pulling us here. I'm going to put a hit of more intense color at this end and a sort of a pink and quite an intense purple here. And then there's this little hit and then the light on that. And I think you'll see in the finished image that even though the building is here, our attention is brought down to this end. Something has to be in the middle of the painting, but just because it is doesn't mean we have to rest here statically. You can visually create these things here that force us visually where you want us to go. So you can see I'm just taking actually chrome oxide green, yellow ochre pretty much, with some turpentine. I'm just laying something really thin. It's a little bit more yellow ochre at the top, maybe a touch of white, but basically, I just want a really thin layer at the top to just sort of, I don't know, just cover it up and get that piece kind of organized. Because then you'll see later I kind of put lights and darks into it. And then this is the wall, so it's ultramarine and yellow ochre and orange, sort of mixing a purple, not a purple, a sort of a blue-gray color. And then I just sort of test it, and it seems okay. You know, the shadows are cool, so it's a good blue. You know, there'll be lots of variation in that. I'll put things on there to kind of muddle it up, make it look more like stone, but that's sort of the idea. And then this is beginning the sky. That's cobalt blue and white. The brush looks quite small, I think, in this camera, but it's bigger. You can see it's bigger. It's 11:14. Panel, and it's a number 8, I think, or something. But you know, it looks reasonable size on the canvas. It looks sort of small because the whole picture is smaller on the. See, it looks smaller. It's the same brush. So now I've mixed a little bit of white with it, just sort of scrubbing in something a little further down, leaving a gap there. And then now I've mixed something halfway between the two. And at a certain point I come in, there I am, and just kind of put something in there between the two to make that gradation fairly smooth. And now I'm just feathering it with sort of the weight of the brush, just to kind of, then I've taken a little bit of cad yellow, lemon, and more white, and you know, just putting it in there and then just smoothing the two layers. And then there's more cad yellow at the bottom, and I'm just brushing it up. Just the weight of the brush to kind of smooth it out. And then now this is the first bit of the cypress tree, so it's, well, mixing fairly quick, but orange, cat orange, yellow ochre, chrome oxide green, ultramarine blue, dioxazine purple. It's a good rich. So I've tested it already and I'm happy with it, and then I'm just going to block in that cypress tree. I'm looking over at the photo, make sure I've got it. Now I'm putting in the shadow side, so I've got alizarin, chrome oxide green, phthalo green. I'm going to get a really good dark in there for the shadow side. And you see, I'm just trying to find the shape and leave it. You know, I adjust the edges later, but for right now, big shapes. And this is the bush in front of it, sort of a paler yellow, green bush in front of the cypress tree. So I want it to be quite light against that cypress. And I don't know, oh, I think maybe I'm mixing the roof color now, as I say, but there's a lot of, the white is down in the bottom left. And you see I've got red tile roof, right? But yellow ochre, red, and green, and I'm making it really dull. Really dull. I'm going to have a little hit of pink on that far end, the end that I want us to look at over on the right-hand side, further down the road. But to start with, it's pretty dull. And then this is some of those sunlit walls at one end. I mean, it looks almost white, right? But it's really quite a warm color. But you see, I'm just sort of trying to find the shape and lay it in. I'm not messing with it. And now I'm just laying in the eave of the roof line and up the front. And I'm painting that little thing. It's not there in the photograph. I moved that cypress over so that it would sit against that and block. And then I'm putting in the tree here. That's probably purple and blue, and then who knows. I mean, it's really just different grays. And I'm just sort of differentiating the wall from the edge of that church there, just pushing in some darker shape at the top. And you can see I've sort of put different greens and paths and lights and darks in the foreground. So there's the finished painting. And you know, the idea was to bring us down here. You can see a hit of orange there and a hit of purple here that are both pulling the attention. The contrast up there is pulling the attention. And so that hit of light pulling the attention. So even though the building is centered, we are clearly getting pulled up to this end, which was sort of the plan at the beginning. So I hope you liked that. Give me a like if you did. Please tell your friends about it if they don't know about it yet. Subscribe. You can get the email down below. And I will see you next week. Have a great week. I hope everything's going okay in your world, and you're well, your family's well, and you're feeling creatively inspired. So all the best to you. I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye for now.